and welcome to Edinburgh in Scotland. I've just finished a 10-day tour all around Scotland, so I thought I'd just go through that and what I've done with you. This video is probably going to go over slightly more days than I usually would do, so instead of doing a week it's probably going to be like maybe 9 days-ish, so maybe like week 5 and 2 days type video. So my last video was I just got to Edinburgh, and you saw probably my first day of the tour, so this is going to be the rest of the tour. Yeah, so the first day that you would have seen in the last video would have been when we left Edinburgh and we were heading to Stornoway, and you would have seen a little video of a river that had salmon in it. I don't think I got any salmon in the video, but oh well, I did see some jumping. So we were heading to Stornoway, which is on the Isle of Lewis. I thought the Isle of Lewis and the Isle of Harris were kind of strange because they didn't have any trees, but they were super green. The weather while we were away was not the best, so the first 5 days or so we had pretty much nothing but rain and nothing but grey skies. So yeah, so we all kind of got really excited whenever we saw a little patch of blue. So on our second day we went to a distillery where they make whiskey. It's not a very old place, they didn't have very old vintage whiskies, but we still got to see the processes that they did. Yeah, and afterwards we got to taste some. We got to taste some whiskey that was whiskey and some whiskey that was still a spirit, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but there we go, that was alright. We got to go to the Butt of Lewis, which is a big, huge bunch of cliffs and the ocean pretty much. So that was cool. We got to climb around and we saw a seal, sea lion. Was it a seal? Yeah. And some birdies. So that was pretty fun. And that day I also got to go to a black house. So we got to go to a black house, and we got to see some old vintage ways of living, and I've got a video on here that Dad would probably really like of someone making tweed in Harris. The next day we went off to Skye, and Skye is apparently a really beautiful island, but we didn't really get to see very much of it because it was super foggy, so I don't know if I've got super amounts of photos or videos, but it was very nice, but it was just, yeah, it was kind of sad. The tour guide was kind of going, oh, you know, over there is where you would normally see blah blah blah, so yeah, it was like at one point maybe 3 meters in front of you, you couldn't see anything. But we got to try iron brew, which is like a Scottish weird, like a creaming soda, but it's like orange flavoured, and it's a Scottish thing, so we got to try that. We were kind of just like, the bar guy just said, oh, have you ever tried iron brew? And we said no, and he was like surprised, so he gave us some for free. They're so cute!
You'd be here all day, I was.
Oh my goodness. Go doggy! Back to the mainland, we got to go to Island Donan Castle, which was pretty cool. It's apparently the most photographed castle in Scotland, and it's beautiful. We got to go to Loch Ness, and we went on a cruise in Loch Ness, which was pretty cool. We made some pretty cool videos. I didn't make one, but one of the girls made a video of us seeing the monster, and that was pretty funny. But I have a photo of the monster in the water. Oh, and it was pretty exciting because suddenly the weather was nice again. Yeah. After that, we went to Orkney. We got to see the Tomb of the Eagles. It was on this guy's property, and he found it because he thought that the place looked a bit odd. So he started digging, and he found this tomb with all these bodies and all these like bones were put in one spot, and then the skulls were put in a different area, and then apparently there were like 100 and something jaw bones found there. So it was like full on burial site in pretty much his backyard. So we got to go out there and see a lot of different artifacts they found around the area, which was pretty cool, and we got to hold them. And we got to climb into the tomb, which was fun. It's like you had to slide in on this little trolley thing, or you could crawl in because the little opening was probably like only maybe 60 centimetres high. Yeah, it wasn't very big, but that was super, super cool. I really enjoyed that. The next day we went to Skara Brae, which is another really, really old place in Orkney. Some of the oldest houses are there. Just to put it in perspective, they give you like when you go there, there's a line of stones that have different things that have happened through history written on them. So it starts off with like man landing on the moon, and it ends up with like, you know, like the Colosseum being built, pyramids being built, all these things that are really, really old, Jesus Christ being born, everything. So yeah, I think Skara Brae was like 300, 3000 something BC. I don't know. Anyway, I've got a photo of it somewhere, how old it was. So yeah, it was amazing to see how they used to live back there, and they had a replica of like a remake of what the house would have looked like when it was built originally. But it was so cool that they're still around and they're still able to be looked at and visited. And I would have thought that I would have heard of this place because it's so old, but I haven't. The next day we just had a free day, so I went for a hour-long canoe trip on the river, which was fun. It was sunny in the morning, like the best day we've had so far. We got out onto the water after about maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes, and all of a sudden the wind picked up, and me and Kate were like floating off into different directions, and then you could see the storm coming up behind us down the lock. It was insane. As we're like paddling frantically away from it, and then as soon as we got out the water, like 5 minutes later, it just bucketed down with rain. It was so funny. But we were so lucky that we got in there when we did and not later. So the next day we went to Oban. We got to chase the Jacobite, which you may have recognised from Harry Potter. It's the Harry Potter train. So we got to catch the Harry Potter train, and then we chased it back down on our way back to Edinburgh, so that was pretty fun. Yeah, it was so fun chasing the train. Our driver was really, really good. He managed to get us to the bridge so we could film the train going over the bridge like it does in Harry Potter. And then I think it wasn't until towards the end of the trip, like yesterday, day before, that we actually had blue skies and we went to the beach, and it was pretty cool, even though it was still not really beach weather by our Australian standards, but still, yeah, exciting.
I actually just hit myself in the face, and I think I've given myself a nosebleed.
Oh, what? Really? So then last night was when we got back to Edinburgh. A bit sad, had to say goodbye to everyone, but afterwards we just went out for dinner, and now here I am in Edinburgh again. So tomorrow I'm going to Dublin and I'm doing a 7-day long island tour. If you have any questions about anything I did in Scotland, or if you want me to post anything in particular that I did in Scotland, or if you want me to do anything in particular in Dublin or Ireland that I might not have thought of, please let me know and I will try and sort that out for you. Thank you.